Okay, so welcome everyone. So this is the Tai Chi short forms class. So again, we're working on the essential form. Right now, we start every class with a salute. So we're going to make a fist with our right hand, bring all the fingers together on that left palm, bringing them together to start with a salute. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is some kind of basic warm-ups. We call them the wellness exercises. They're kind of a Tai Chi and Qigong exercise. So the first thing we want to do is check in on our feet, give us a nice solid base to start with, perfectly straight. We have a natural way that we all stand. We want to use our floorboards to our advantage, nice straight feet. Next, I want you to check in with the knees and the lower back. We'd like to have them slightly softened so we can relax our lower back down, not too much, but just enough that we're kind of lengthening through the tailbone. All right. We're going to lift through the crown of our head, let those shoulders hang down nice and low. Remember, the fingertips brush the sides of the legs, but we want that little piece of fruit underneath our arms. So eventually we would love for this to be our normal standing position. Right now, we're going to check in every so often and see how we're doing. Take a moment, feel the weight in your feet. I want you to move back and forth, side to side or circle, and feel this connection. Okay, so really tune in to what it feels like as that weight moves forward and back. So we're feeling the toes connect and the heel. And then I want you to find center. So what does center mean? That whole foot is connected to the ground. So if our knees are turned in, we're on the inside of our feet. We want to be perfectly centered, have our whole foot like Velcroed or suction come to the ground. All right, the first thing we're going to do is called like water's wave. You're going to rotate your palms so that they face back and then inhale and lift them up to shoulder height and shoulder width. Take an exhale here. We're just going to talk for a moment. We want our length through our fingers, so not slouch, reach through, but not really stiff, okay? Just energize. Now, when the next exhale, we're going to go upper arms, forearms, and then palms sink down in front of your hips, fingertips pointing forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, press down. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink and press down. So bending into the left. So we're going to stand up. Arms are at the top. We're fully standing. Press down, sink down as we lower, everything arrives together. So we want to combine mind, body, and breath. Upper and lower halves arrive together. So push, standing, arms up. Sinking, hands at the hips, we stop bending the knees. So no matter how much or how little we sink, everything's going to arrive together. It's really up to you how far you want to push your legs. This is a great opportunity to build that strength in our legs and sink down a little bit more. And then we can bring that into our practice. Very nice. So just moving with your own breath, feeling that flow. We can also do this in a chair just by moving through that upper body. Couple more. Last one will come up and down just like normal. But at the end, we'll stand up and return to that original position with our hands to the side. Perfect. Okay. So your
Oh,
mission.
I'm sorry. I'm having a problem here because of water, and I'm waiting for plumber back and forth. So I want to see you as much as I can, but please understand if I come and go. Okay.
That's fine. I'm glad you're here. Okay. This is a great opportunity. We just want you to enjoy your practice. And that's what I was just going to say. Okay. So your mission is 5 minutes a day. Okay.
Okay.
So this wellness exercise is going to be the basics for your Tai Chi practice. Okay. This is going to include the strength, the balance, everything that you need. All right. So let's get
Okay.
started on our next one. And then we are just going to move into our form. So again, starting in that prepare stance. Feet shoulders width, waist relaxed, arms to the side, head lifting up, so length through the spine. This time we rotate our palms facing up, and then they face together overhead. Remember, shoulders sinking down, so let them hang. Bend at the elbows, fingertips point together. Hands to the hips. Fingers point down. Rotate your whole arm till those palms face up. Inhale, we can even look up. Exhale, press down. So now we're doing this big arm circle with the inhale, standing. And again, we're gonna sink into our legs as the fingertips press down. So rotate, lift. Exhale, down. So how can you combine the legs, that small movement timing with that big arm circle so that everything gets to the top together and everything sinks down together? All right, we're going to shorten this one a little bit today so we can go over some basics before we get started. After this one, we're going to do our closing. So we're going to do half of this movement. We're going to rotate our arms and they're going to come out in front, shoulders width, shoulders tight. Then, like water's wave, upper arms, forearms, and palms sink down till they're in front of the hips. And then we're going to bring those arms to the side. We're just going to swing for a moment real quick, warming up our spine from this position using the center of your torso. Turn and let the arms swing. That lower arm is going to strike the lower back. And we're just warming up our spine. So lifting through that crown of the head, using our torso to lead the arm movement. So the faster your torso spins, the faster your arms will swing. Just letting go for a moment. Let your shoulders hang, let the arms swing freely. And then slowly ease off from your middle body. So the torso slows down. It doesn't turn as far until eventually we come back to center. Okay, so we have started the essential form. We just did actually the first two movements, which are called prepared opening. We just called it like water's wave. So you already know those first two moves. We are going to learn a new movement today, but first we're going to review. So for those of you that are brand new, I want you to give yourself grace. I want you to do your best to follow along and either choose the legs or the arms, okay? There's a lot going on in these first two movements. When we're learning a form, I'm going to turn around to the opposite direction so that we are all moving in the same way. The third movement in the form is a little bit tricky to learn, but remember, we're going to review this again and again in every class. And if you'd like, you can check out the previous videos on YouTube that have the breakdown of this movement step by step. All right, so remembering that, let's go over what a bow stance is before we get started. So we always start in prepare. I'm going to mirror you for this portion. So you're going to shift to your left and you're going to turn and open your right toes 45 degrees. So look down, it should be to the corner direction or 45 degrees from your left foot. You're going to sink into that right leg wherever is comfortable. Okay, you don't have to sink very low. We just want to feel stable with all of the weight on the right leg. And then we're going to pick up that left leg and step directly out, heel, ball of foot, toes touch. And you're going to push 60% of your weight forward so that your left knee is over your ankle. So we're going to end up in something like this, okay? The length of your stance does not matter. What matters is from here, can you shift that weight back into your right leg and can you easily pick up? If it was difficult, I want you to step a little bit smaller and then move forward and shift back and try it again. Should have been a lot easier that time. Okay, this is where we get our balance. This is where we build strength. So we're going to start on the other side this time, coming back to prepare. You're going to shift to your right this time, and you're going to open up your left toes, 45 degrees corner direction. Now, when you sink down, I want you to be very aware that your knee is in line with your toe direction. So the knee is not going to turn in. It's going to be in line if you look down with your toes. Very important. We want to build strength around our whole leg. Now step that right leg straight out. Touch, heel, ball of foot, toes, bend your knee. Push 60% of that weight forward, knee over the ankle. What do you notice? We have two lines. Okay, so if you turned your left foot, you would have two lines between your feet. Okay, instead of one, we're creating balance from side to side by having two lines. Now we want to check, can we shift back and pick up? If it was hard, we're going to step a little bit smaller, and that's going to be our bow stance. So remembering every day is different. Our strength increases as we practice. We're going to start wherever we are today, just giving ourselves grace, shift back, pick up, and test one more time. Nice. Stepping out, move forward. Okay. Perfect. Any questions on the bow stance? All right. Let's practice, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is called ward off left. I just want to do a quick warm up on arm circles. You're going to bring your left arm on top, right arm underneath. This is a lot of the circling that we do. We close the arms around a ball. We open and we close. Okay, so this is what our first two movements are going to be. It's this way, and then we're going to close the other way. Okay, so this is our circling. We circle, close, and we close. Nice. Okay, so that's the basics of the first two moves. I'm going to turn. We're going to practice a few times, okay? And then we're going to add our new move. The great move about our new movement is there's no change in footwork, okay? So it's just going to be learning arms today. So again, give yourself grace. Maybe if it's your first time, you just choose to do the footwork that we were just working on, okay? So turning the other direction, we're going to start in prepare. Shoulders width apart, arms to the side, relaxing that waist, head lifting up, and we're going to move into opening or like water's wave. Rotate the arms, lift them up to shoulders height and shoulders width. Upper arms go down, forearms, and then palms till they sit in front of your hips. Shifting to your left, we're going to turn and open our right toes 45 degrees. Reach that right arm out in front. We're closing around that ball, left arm's underneath. Step for a bow stance with your left foot. Press down with your right palm, left arm lifts up, bow stance, looking to the 3 o'clock direction. So left fingertips point, right hand sitting on a table. Ward off left. Next movement is ward off right. You're going to shift your weight to your right. Turn your whole body on your left heel. We're going to rotate both of our arms so the left palm faces down and the right arm's going to bend underneath as we close and step for a bow stance. Left palm presses, right arm lifts, ward off right. Left fingers point to the center of the right forearm. Our right arm is bent and our elbow and knee is in line and we're leaning forward slightly. Let me see. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. Remember, this is a lot, okay? So we're going to do it a few times. I'm going to show you up close really quick. After we do like water's wave, the right arm's going to reach out in front, left arm's underneath, and you're going to end up like this. Left arm pointed, right hand's down by your hip. Perfect. Okay, we turn our bodies. We're going to rotate both arms. Fingers. We're going to bend the right arm underneath. So it just looks like this. It's just bent, okay? And it's going to hinge up as you press down. Perfect. Okay, so we go from here, left arm on top. Perfect. Yep. And now from here on top, just move this palm down and your right arm goes up. Yes, that was it. This is why you have your cameras on, so then I can see and help. Yes, you got it. From here, left arm on top, right arm underneath, press down, hinge up. Perfect. Okay, let's do it again with the footwork. Again, you can choose to do arms, legs, or both, okay? Starting at prepare. Opening, rotate, lift both arms, shoulder height, shoulder width. Upper arms, forearms, and then palms push down like water's wave. Shifting weight to your left. Turn everything 45 degrees to the right. Right arm comes on top, reaching out in front, left arm bends underneath, and we step out. Pressing down, lift up with that left arm, ward off left. Fingertips to the side, right hand in front of the hips. Shifting your weight to the right, turn your whole body, legs, waist, and arms. Rotate both arms as you shift to your left. Close the arm, so bend the right arm underneath and step out. Now left palm goes down, right arm lifts up, ward off, right. How do we do? Let's do it again, okay? Remember, repetition is key, right? So prepare. Opening, rotate and lift. Press down all the way to the hips. Shifting to your left, open to your right. Reach out, right arm on top, left arm underneath, and step with that left foot. We're gonna check. We should be like this, left arm's on top, right arm's underneath. Left leg is out in front. Now we're gonna press down and lift up, ward off left. Now check bow stance, normal bow stance. Left arm points out to the side. Right hand just sitting by your hip like it's on a table. Shift to your right. Turn whole body, leg, waist, arms. So it's like your whole body just turns together. You're going to shift your weight to the left, rotate both arms, bend that right arm underneath, and step for a bow stance. Left arm on top, right arm bent. Hinge that right arm up and press down with the left palm. Ward off right. Elbow and knee are in line. Left fingers point to the right forearm. We're looking ahead. Yes. It's coming back. Even if you've done Tai Chi a long time ago, it looks good. All right. One more time. Okay. Remember, repetition. Okay. So we're going to do it again. And then we're going to talk new movement. All right. So from prepare. Rotate and lift for opening. Pressing down. Ward off left. Shift left. Turn to your right. Right arm reaches out. Left arm underneath, and we step. Press down with the right palm. Lift that left arm. Shift to the right. Turn your whole body. Everything turns together. Rotate both arms. Right arm bends, and we step, and we hinge that arm up as we press down. Ward off right. Okay. Yes. Yes. How are we doing? Maybe. Okay. Remember, Tai Chi is hard. Okay. We've been working on those movements for 2 weeks. Okay. So if you're new, remember it's hard to just jump right in like that, and you're doing great. Okay. Let's talk about what's going to come next so we can practice. Okay. This set of movements is part of a sequence called grasping the bird's tail. Okay. So this movement includes ward off left, which is the first one, ward off right, what we're going to learn today, which is called roll back, and then press and push. Okay. These are all one set of movements. Grasping the bird's tail, something we can visualize, is taking our palm and say stroking the back of a bird, right? So a nice, gentle movement pressing down. That can help a lot with our visualization. We're not necessarily learning Tai Chi as a martial art, but these movements do have martial arts meaning. Tai Chi was made to counter Kung Fu. So we're going to learn the meanings here as well, just so that we understand why our body is moving in a certain way. So this one is grabbing our opponent's arm or wrist, and we're taking their elbow over our forearm. So their arm's going to come into this position. We're going to bring that palm down or stroke the back of that bird, okay? Yes, that was perfect, okay? The end position for ward off right, we have a nice bend in our elbow, okay? And our left fingers point to the center of our forearm. This is important because in the next movement, we're gonna imagine there's a string connected between them, and we're gonna rotate our arms together, okay? So let's break it down. I'm gonna show you one time from two directions, okay? This is our normal direction, ward off right, and we're going to do roll back. We go to the corner, rotating both arms, and we're gonna roll back to the other corner. Okay, so I'm gonna show you again from this direction. Ward off right, roll back. Okay, what's the great thing? Our feet didn't move, right? So this is a good opportunity to practice our footwork. So let's start in a nice bow stance. Sink into your left leg. It's at the corner direction. So if we have our 4 straight directions, this one's going to corner. Nice stepping out with that right leg. Shift your weight forward. In ward off right, our torso is kind of open. It's not totally open to the corner, but it's not to straight. We're in between what we call straight and corner. We're slightly off. We're gonna turn our torso so that it's straight. And then as you shift your weight back, you're gonna turn your torso to the side direction, okay? So I'm gonna do it from the front direction just for a moment, okay? So, all right, I'm gonna mirror you, face your cameras, right leg forward, okay? Look at the torso direction. If I hold my arms up in that hug a tree position, the torso's not to corner, it's not to straight, we're in between, right? First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna turn to straight. And as you sink back into your left leg, you're gonna turn your torso to the corner. So your torso direction should match the direction of your knee and foot. Check in with your right leg. Is that knee turned in or is it in line? Is there a little bit of weight still there? Okay, let's go back. Bow stance. This would be our ward off right. Turn to straight. Shift back and turn to the corner. Okay, one more time. Something to consider. Remember, we're not going to go up and down. Okay, we're going to think back and forth, level moving back and forth. Okay, arms up if you'd like. See, we're at not quite corner, not straight, in between. Perfect. Go back to straight. Now shift and turn to the corner. Easy enough, right? Okay, nailed it. Perfect. I'm seeing so much torso movement. Okay, this is so important for our spine health and our core strength and back strength as well. All right, let's talk about the arms. Okay. Remember, we have our warding off arms. Okay, so our right arm is bent, our left fingers are going to point. Okay, I'm going to turn for a second. I'm turning. This is our original direction. Drop your left arm. See how you can only see like my elbow, right? Because it's a right angle pretty much, okay? You're gonna take this arm and you're just going to rotate the whole arm till the palm is basically sitting up. And then from here, it's just going to down circle a little bit. It doesn't change very much. So from ward off, remember in ward off, our elbow is a little bit lower than the wrist. So we're not level, a little bit lower. Now from here, keep your elbow sinking down, rotate that whole arm till the palm sits up. And then it's just gonna go down a little bit. That's it, okay? The left palm is sitting like this, okay? It's pushed down or went down that back of the bird, okay? It's just going to turn so that it rotates and faces up. And then you're just gonna go back. That's it. You're just gonna turn your body, okay? That's it. So what we're doing is we're showing that we're grabbing, okay? Or we're turning and rotating, okay? So we go from sitting, rotate, and then we're just gonna turn. That's it, okay? It's how do we put them together? So Left palm is sitting like this, right? Right arm is bent. Now remember, there's a string connecting them. Everything moves together, okay? You're gonna rotate both together so the left palm faces up and the right palm sits. Okay, so if I drop this arm, see it, left palm up, okay? Now from here, it's just turning. It's just not very much changing, just a little bit down circle, okay? So you just have to move from corner to corner. Okay, we're gonna do this a couple of times, all right? I want you to face your screens. Completely face me for a moment. We're gonna mirror each other, okay? You can sit in a chair and do this, okay? Remember, please sit down. This is a great opportunity if you're sitting in a chair to learn how to turn your waist because your hips are fixed, so you can really turn from your center, okay? Right arm looks like mine. Perfect. Left palm pressing down. Beautiful. Okay, you're going to the corner. Rotate both arms. Perfect. Now from here, just turn and go down a little bit to the other corner. Okay, beautiful. Okay, right arm. Remember, elbow sinks down. Left fingertips pointing to the center. Perfect. Okay, here, hold for 1 second, okay? Look at the difference of me being like this versus this, okay? The difference is that everything we want happening in front of our body here, okay? So I'm looking right at you versus having it over here. So really try to have everything in front of your body. Yes, perfect. Okay, now from here, like a string is connected between these arms. Rotate to the corner. And then you're gonna shift and turn to the other corner. That's it. One more time. Ward off right. Roll back. Rotate and turn. And then turn back. You nailed it. Okay. Now go into ward off right. I'm going to turn to the original direction. Okay. So this is the way we do it together. Keep your arms. Put your right leg forward. Bow stamp. Okay. Left palm pointing. Perfect. Okay. Weight doesn't change. Turn from your center. Arms go to the corner direction. Perfect. Okay, now shift your weight back and turn to your left corner. Okay, check. Did your arms change very much? Right palm is seated, elbows down, left fingertips, we say point to the center of the forearm. And remember, weights in our back leg. We're kind of leaning forward a little bit. We're not going to be up like this. We're going to sink into the hips and lean forward. And we're looking to this direction. Yes. Let's do it again. Okay. So remember, ward off right. Right arm's bent, left hand here. Perfect. Okay. Bow stamp. Elbow and knee in line. Torso's turned to the corner a little bit, less than corner. Okay, we're looking ahead and we're going to turn and we're following our gaze to the arm direction. Both arms rotate. Now shift back and turn. Okay. How are we doing? Oh, it looks good. It looks really, really good. Okay. I feel like you're just nailing it. I'm going to add press in today because press and roll back connect together. Okay. So I'm going to show you again one time what's going to happen from two directions and then we'll mirror each other. So we go ward off right. We're going to rotate and turn. You're now going to touch the left palm to the forearm and we're just going to expand out for press. Okay, so one more time. Ward off right. We do roll back. And then we do press. Okay, These movements connect really well together. And since there's no change in our footwork, it's nice to group them together a little bit, okay? So coming towards your camera, look right at the camera. I'm gonna mirror you. So right arm, nice and bent. Yep, palm faces up a little bit. So feel the difference of the muscles in your arm from when you're here to here. When we turn and rotate, we engage the muscles a little bit more. You can kind of feel the activation, okay? We want that activation in our arms, okay? Building strength in our shoulders as we hold our arms up for 45 minutes too. Okay, fingertips point to the center, perfect. Roll back, we turn. And then we turn to the corner. Perfect. Okay, now that left palm is going to touch. Yes, you got it. And then we expand out a little bit. Okay, so I wanted to test you right away to see how you did, and you did so great. Okay, press is about, it's not about pushing. Okay, it's not about like pressing something down. It's like you're in a tight space and you're like trying to like make room, right? We're trying to make room for ourselves. So that's what this movement is. It's using your palm to help, but the big thing is taking your arm and expanding it out. Okay, so we're taking that right arm and we're coming from close in, and it should feel just like ward off right. It's that same angle, but we're just going to expand out. Okay, we're going to go from a little bit low and we're going to go a little bit higher to expand out. Okay, and then what happens is your left palm is just kind of pushing and helping. It's like the support in this situation. So when we're here, we're going to take our whole palm and it's going to touch the center of your forearm. So those fingers are going to be slightly turned instead of being straight and having that armpit closed. We're going to give ourselves that little bit of space here. And we're going to come from a little bit low and we're going to press open high. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, okay? The big thing about this movement, I'm gonna turn from the original direction, is we're turning and we're to the corner. Remember, our torso is to the corner. We're gonna come back less than corner again. So we have this body turn going on here, okay? And we're taking our right arm from this corner direction, and you're gonna let it come in close-ish to your body, okay? And as it does, that's when your left palm's gonna touch. It's gonna connect here. And you're gonna stay close in, and then you're just gonna come up and out, okay? So it's this up and out that's giving you the power of the movement. All right, so it's a nice, gentle, you wanna imagine kind of flowing into this. So we did our roll back, and we're gonna bring our elbow to the right, and we're gonna touch our palm, and then we're gonna expand up. Okay. The really cool thing about this movement, we're gonna do it from ward off, facing each other for a moment, okay? These movements link together and they are so similar. You're gonna see in just a moment why we're putting them together. So we have ward off right, right elbows down, remember? Again, you can do a sitting, okay? Sitting is good for our waist. Fingertips point to the center. Okay, both arms are gonna rotate and go to the corner. You're gonna turn and you're gonna go to the other corner. Okay, now you're gonna take your left palm and it's going to touch the center. Perfect. And now we're gonna go up and out for press. Now here's where it's cool. Drop your palm a little bit. Ward off right. Roll back to the other corner. Press, so touch the forearm. Press out. Ready for it again? Ward off. Only thing is the palm moves. Perfect. Rotate. Roll back to the second corner. Now palm to forearm and press. Yes. Nailed it. All right. So These movements all link together. They're called grasping the bird's tail. They actually play off of one another. Okay, so if we were doing martial arts, they would play off of our opponent being able to neutralize our energy by taking their elbow and then our bending so it doesn't work. This is something we'll talk about more and more, but we talk about this so we understand that when we do this movement, it's not up here, it's going to be relaxed down. It's going to be at chest level. Okay, everything's going to be around chest level. All right. The footwork is really easy. Okay. So we already did our ward off right. We did our roll back. The footwork is simply setting up as you touch and then expanding everything out together. So that same principle of sinking and standing together, we're just going to expand out together. Okay. So let's practice a couple of times from ward off right. I'm going to face you and mirror you for 1 second. So right arm's bent, left fingers here. Perfect. We're going to start in our bow stance. Okay. So right leg forward, ward off right. Rotate and turn your arms to the corner. Sink back and turn to your left corner. Touch the palm to the forearm, expand out and shift forward for press. Yes. Okay, resetting, ward off right. Take that left palm off and just point the fingers to the forearm. Rotate both arms like there's a string connected. Roll back, corner to corner. Touch left palm to the forearm and press. So same thing, elbow and knee in line. Torso's kind of open. We're not going to be straight. You know, we're going to be turned a little bit for press. How are we doing? All right, questions?
Practice.
Practice. Exactly what I was going to say. All right. So we're going to do that 3 more times, and then we're going to link it all together. Okay. So from ward off right, right arm, left palm. I'm going to turn so we all move together, right? So right leg forward, ward off right, right arm bent, left palm point. Rotate both arms to your right corner. Shift your weight back, turn your torso, arms go to the left corner. Left palm to your right forearm. Expand up and out for press. Again, elbow and knee in line. We lean into it a little bit, not too much, but not vertical. Leaning. 1 line from your foot to your head. 2 more times. Ward off right. So disconnect that left palm. Right arm doesn't change. Roll back. Rotate, corner direction. Shift and turn to your left corner. Arms go down a little bit. Left palm to right forearm. Expand out for press. Okay, 1 more. Ready? Disconnect the left palm. Ward off right. Rotate both arms. Shift back and turn. Roll back. Left palm to right forearm. And we press. Yes. What great end postures. Okay? Let's put it all together, right? Because we put like a chunk together, but now let's start from opening. Again, you can do this from a chair. This is the really cool thing about Tai Chi, okay? You can do all of this from a chair and just do the upper body movements. I love this. You could just do the legs. Say you really wanted the balance, right? You could just work on the legs. Remember, Tai Chi starts in our legs, okay? It starts with building strength and balance in our legs. We want to feel strong and heavy here, and we want to feel light and airy through the arms, okay? Let's start at prepare, and let's do it a few times, okay? Shoulders width apart, arms to the side, head lifting up. Opening, rotate the arms, lift them up, shoulders tight, shoulders width. Upper arms go down, forearms, and then palms till they sit in front of your hips. Shift your weight to the left. Turn and open on your right heel to the right side. Right arm comes up on top, left arm bends underneath as we step to 12 o'clock. Press down with that right arm, lift the left arm up, ward off left. Rotate to shift back, rotate and turn everything together. Rotate both arms, right arm bends underneath as we step out with the right leg. Brushing the back of the bird, ward off right. Rotate both arms to the corner direction, left palm up, right palm seated. Shift back and turn to your left corner. Left palm to right forearm. Expand out or press. Okay, let's do it again. That was a nice little chunk, right? We're starting to feel the flow of Tai Chi. Okay, let's start to prepare. All right. Opening, rotate and lift. Upper arms, forearms, palms, push down. Shift left, turn to the right. Right arm reaches out, left arm bends underneath as we step straight out with the left foot. Press down and lift up, ward off left. Shift some weight to the right. Turn on your left heel. Everything turns together. Rotate both arms, left palm down, right arm bends underneath, and we step out. Right arm hinges up, left palm presses down, ward off right. Rotate both arms to the corner for roll back. Shift back and turn from your waist, arms go to your left corner. Left palm to right forearm. Expand out for press. Okay, let's do one more time before we close class. Okay, remembering 5 minutes a day is your goal for the week. You do this 5 times in a row, that's 5 minutes. Done. Okay, all right, one more time. Prepare. Opening, rotate and lift. Upper arms, forearms, palms press down. Shift left, open to your right. Right arm on top, left arm bends underneath, and you step with the left foot. Press down and lift up at the same time. Shifting to your right so you can rotate everything on your left heel. Rotate both arms. Remember, right arm is underneath. Step out with the right foot. Right arm hinges up. Left fingers point to the center of the forearm. Rotate both arms like there's a string connected. Shift to the back and turning to your left. Touching left palm to right forearm. Ward off right, roll back, and press. Nice. Great job. Okay, remember, we're just going to keep practicing. Okay, we're going to keep building on this. Next week is even easier. Next week is push. Okay, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, I like that one. Okay. All right.
So you say the videos we can in the chat, you put them there?
Yes.
Okay.
I will put it there again because I want you to practice, okay? 5 minutes a day. All right. 5 minutes is 5 of those from prepare to press. Okay. It goes really quick. 5 minutes could be like water's wave, but 5 minutes is your goal for every day. Okay. And then eventually I challenge you, for those who have been here, you know who I'm talking to, 5 minutes twice a day. Okay. Get a little bit more in. All right. Yeah, exactly. And once you do 5 minutes, then you can do 10 and you kind of get addicted in a way where it's like, yes, I want my Tai Chi. All right. So any questions before we close class?
You know, when we're standing, our elbows always line up with the knee. right? When we're,
Yes.
My experience right now from sitting, it doesn't line up. Only one side will line up because it doesn't seem like there's enough space. So
If
when
you're
we're doing
sitting,
like this, right. So like if I look at my left elbow, it's not completely lined up, whereas my right is completely lined up.
that's actually your hips talking to you. How's
Okay.
that for you? Okay. So if you're able to line up on one side versus the other, you're probably having a connection point to your hip and lower back. Okay. So you're probably getting a little bit more movement out of the spine from one direction to the other. I say this because I have the same thing. Okay.
Because I thought it was cast. I thought it was the cast that was because I have that extra weight now. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, you might be if you might want to put like a book or something under the other foot so that they're even,
Under the
right?
cap.
Yeah, so
Because I'm
that
in surgical boots, so I could put the cushion underneath it.
yeah, well, no, put the book underneath the other foot, right? Because the boot gives you that lift, so then your hips are getting off. So when you're sitting, especially, you really want to balance that out, right? So that you have like because the boot's going to be here, right? You know, and then so you want to bring the other one because that's going to affect your hips, especially when you're sitting. Anytime you're sitting, if you can stuff something under the foot that doesn't have the boot on it to even out, because the hips are then going to be off, right? So I really try to check in. And then for anyone who wants to, sitting in a chair and just doing this exercise of turning, it allows us to connect to this portion of our back because when we sit, our hips are fixed, right? And then we can use our upper body in a new way, right? So if I have my hands on my shoulders, you can see how far, and like, look, you can see I can turn more this way,
Right.
but not so much this way today. And every day is different, okay? So we want to gain that flexibility back in our spine.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I'm spine and knee surgery. You are amazing, okay? This is going to help so much with healing, okay? This is going to help you get through that. And remember, with the knees, all of this can be done in a chair. Okay,
Yeah.
this is all done. You can all do this in a chair.
But it's
And
hard because if you're used to like I'm used to standing and doing it, it is harder to do it from the chair.
it's challenging you in a new way, but here's what's going to happen. Everything that you're learning about your waist turning, okay, or your torso turning is going to translate into your bow stance and your body when you stand again, right? It's going to be such a change in your practice. Your mind's going to be blown. You're going to be like, wow, I'm feeling all these new things, okay? Because sitting in a chair really allows us to gain flexibility in our spine that we sometimes don't connect to, because what happens if I look towards the camera, I'm just doing it normal direction. This is not mirrored. I just want you to see, okay? When we're doing this, look at my hips. They're not moving very much, okay? They're not moving very much. How do we achieve that? Through finding this position where we can shift back and forth, okay, and use our legs without moving very much in our hips. What happens a lot is that we see this. Okay, can you see the difference of that closing and turning of the legs and hips? Sitting in a chair helps us strengthen our legs through sitting and really using that ground and sitting up tall so that we can just learn to use our waist and to keep what we call the quad or crotch area rounded enough. Okay, this is a big thing. When we're doing the stance work, we want to keep our knees in alignment. Okay, we really want to have this strength here. We lose that if we do this. Okay, we want to keep them where they belong and use our waist. And we do that through training in a chair. Okay, so it is a really, really good thing. And I encourage you to play around with it because it took me years and I mean years, to figure out that I needed to sit in a chair and do more work that way. Okay. So I love this. The questions are great questions, and you are learning so much in every class. All right. Do we have anything else going on? All right. We close class the way we started it, with a salute. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was such a pleasure having you here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want, we are doing traditional Tai Chi forms on Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. That one is, we're a little bit further along in the form, but if you just want to hop in and come and do your best and just, feel the flow, I encourage that. It's always great to just try other things. If you want to just come and do the arm movements, sitting in a chair, please come work with us. All right. I love having you there. Hey, that's what it's for, right? We do what we can every day. That's all we do. We do our best. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.